Hey, the last I knew, kids of all ages like to draw Frankenstein. This is a great way to draw him even if you are just getting started on your drawing career. Follow along with me and I'll show you how easy it is to do. Hi, my name's Kathy and I've been teaching kids how to draw for over 20 years now. You know, my favorite thing to do is to show students that when you take things one step at a time, learning how to draw just might be easier than you think. The only supplies you need for this project are a sheet of drawing paper, a pencil, black marker, and crayons. There's also a link to a free step-by-step tutorial in the description below. And if you're new here, here's where I recommend adding center pencil guidelines on your paper before you begin your project. They're also on all of my tutorials, and they really help you see where to put your pencil. Let's begin with Frankenstein's head. It's pretty much a big box, but let's plan it with marks first, so we make it large enough. After those marks are in place, then connect them with lines for the side of his head and one across for the top. Now the bottom does curve down a bit, so put your pencil on one corner and draw a curve down to the center, and then do the same thing on the other side. This step is fun. It's drawing his famous zigzag hairline. So I like to start in the middle and draw large zigzags on one side and then match them on the other side. Now we can add Frankenstein's smiling mouth. Start with a straight line across for the top, the curved lines underneath, then another line near the top, and add little short lines to show the different teeth. Let's move on to drawing his eyes now. Start with two oval shapes, and then when you have those done, add a ring around the outside. Try to make them match each other if you can. We need to make the screw shapes that I think are coming out of his neck, so start with two short lines that connect to a tall rectangle. When one side is done, then do the same on the other side and try to make them match, of course. Now, it wouldn't be Frankenstein without a stitch line or two, so I'm going to add one up on the top right corner, but feel free to add more if you'd like. All right, let's begin his back now with some marks to plan it. So it's going to go this high on the paper and come down this far. When you have those marks, then put your pencil in the middle and draw a nice curve on one side and then another curve on the other side. After those marks are in place, then connect them with lines for the side of his head and one across for the top. All you need to add now is a nice big zigzag line from one side of the shirt to the other. Frankenstein's shoes are pretty easy. They're just two half circles that are centered underneath his shirt. Then add some pants above those shoes with just a couple of straight lines. The hands are pretty simple too. It's just a side view with a thumb and a curve for the rest of the fingers. When one hand is done, then of course draw one on the other side too. I'm going to finish my drawing with just a simple horizon line, but feel free to add a moon or some other spooky stuff in the background. Now my Frankenstein drawing is done, so I'm going to trace all of those lines carefully with a black marker. Oops, I just realized I didn't add a nose, but it's not too late to do that. Before you do any coloring, be sure to erase any pencil lines that are still showing. It'll make your drawing look so much neater. In order to make the inside of the mouth and those eyes look extra black, I'm going to use my marker for that. Now we're ready to color. I'm using a light yellowish green color for his face and hands. For his hair, I am going to use a black crayon because I think it gives it a little more texture. That goes for his shoes as well. Now you can certainly make his clothes look any way you want, but I'm going to color mine in a kind of a dark purple. And those pants underneath are a dark brown. The only gray I have for the screws is pretty light, so I have to press really hard to make it show up. Finally, I'm going to use my brown again for the ground and just not press really hard so it looks different than the pants. My sky is going to be a light blue, but feel free to use something dark too if you'd like. Alright, here's another look at my finished Frankenstein drawing. I really like how placing his head lower than his back makes him look so hunched over, which I believe is a pretty important part of his character. If you check out my website, Art Projects for Kids, you'll find many more Halloween drawing projects, including one for a vampire and one for a haunted house. I hope you try them out too, and I hope you keep on drawing. See you next time.